hips on your waist, front way, back way, you know.
Hi gems, it's your girl Ambra and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, please do so. That way you're always in the loop when I've uploaded new content on this channel. Today I wanted to play in metallics. I've mixed two of my favorites, that being of the purple variety and brown. I mean, this is what I came up with. Believe it or not, the product that I have that's glittering on my lids right now has a purple undertone, and I laid that on top of a brown smoky eye. So if you're interested in how I achieve this look, keep watching. Alright gems, let's jump right into it. Fresh face. We're going with our moisturizer first. You know, I've been loving that Clinique moisturizer. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, so I'll make sure to list that in the description bar below. But it's specific for oily combination beauty enthusiasts such as myself. So this would be great for those who have problem areas. On my lids, I jump right into this. On my lids, I'm using my Dose of Color Chocolate Wasted as a eyeshadow primer. As I mentioned in the opening message, I did more of a brown smoky eye before I laid over a pigment, so I needed something that was going to hold my chocolate shade that I'm going to apply on top to really set that in place. And I am using a Colourpop shade. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, of course, but you know, best used with your finger. And I just pat this all over the lipstick application to set that in place and really give me a true brown smoky eye. There's never a smoky eye without a transition, so I decided to use my Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear as my transition shade just above my crease to really blend that chocolate brown shade from Colourpop and the gradiated color from Makeup Geek together. And I'm just using a simple blending brush and a windshield wiper motion and blending those together seamlessly. You notice how I don't have a brow bone highlight because I like to go in later with my concealer, my all too familiar NW45 as you see here, and I apply it directly underneath my brow. I'm not using any brow products lately, guys, so this has been my little trick to kind of allow that clean, crisp finish to my brows since I'm not using any products and I'm not filling them in. And then I'm taking a blending brush and just blending that product out, and it kind of gives me that transition shade that I would have applied with a shadow to kind of blend in the Cocoa Bear as well as that concealer. And on the lid I'm using a pressed pigment by MAC, and this is in the color Black Grape. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful over brown, it's beautiful over black. When the sun or the light hits it, it really just gives a beautiful finish. For my eyeliner, you guys, I've been loving this e.l.f. black liner. I don't know if you guys have gotten it yet. It's $3. It has a matte finish. I have not even been gravitating towards my Inglot because this e.l.f. is doing the business. Just creating a small simple wing as you see me applying here with my Luxie angled brush. I'll make sure to list the brush below because it's pretty key and essential to executing a pretty decent wing. And then with my Mega Lash, I'm applying to prep my lashes before I put on my falsies, which I can't remember the name of those either, but I'll make sure to list it below. On my skin to prime, I'm using this sample Becca Backlight Primer. I've never used it before. Just wanted to see how it would react to oily skin throughout the day. And then I'm going in with my oldie but goodie, my Revlon Color 2-in-1 Stay in the color Cocoa, I believe. It's the deepest shade, ladies, so I won't even fool you with it. And then I blend it out with my Beauty Blender. I loved this foundation in the summertime. I even took this on vacation with me. I didn't use it as much as I thought because the Caribbean is obviously too hot, but when I did go out and wanted to kind of step up my look, I felt this foundation just stayed in place, you guys. It's just bomb. I love it. From concealer, I'm using my 2-in-1 by NYX Cosmetics. It's the deepest shade, kind of give you a contour and a highlight, but I felt like the highlight wasn't as bright as I'd like, so I did mix it with my Kat Von D concealer just underneath my eyes because I didn't want those to seem sunken, especially with a smoky eye, as you can see me doing here. And then I blend all of that together. contour, I'm just using the darker shade of that NYX Combo Highlight and Contour Stick, just in the hollows of my cheekbone and the perimeter of my forehead. Normal procedure here when I'm contouring, and then I blend that out with the same beauty sponge. Setting powder today, we're going with Laura Mercier just underneath my eyes where I applied the highlighter. Of course, my forehead, nose, cupid's bow, and chin to really just set that highlight in place. And then as far as my contour, I have been loving this palette, y'all. I'm using the darkest shade in the Shayla Tarteist face palette, and I'm setting that contour cream product in place as well. Same place, hollows of my cheek, perimeter of my forehead, and I even take a little bit along my jawline. And then I take a big fluffy brush and just brush away that Laura Mercier setting powder, and make sure everything is blended nicely together. Using my L'Oreal Infallible Kohl eyeliner in the color black. I really need to replace it. It's getting a little too low for my liking. I apply that on my lower lash line and then buff it out with a pencil brush just to make sure that it's seamless and a little bit more gradiated smoky effect. And then in my inner corner, I go back into that Tarteist palette and grab that shimmery shade just to highlight my inner corners of my eyes, to allow my eyes to pop when I have on a darker shadow. For my cheeks, I'm using my MAC Format Blush. This is an oldie but goodie. It's so beautiful and brown girl friendly. Just gives a nice flush tone to the cheeks. And then for my highlighter, I'm using my Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration in Champagne Pop and applying that on the higher points of my cheekbone. I blend my highlighter and my blush together so that there's no harsh lines, and then I set my entire face with my NYX matte finishing spray. I mean, anything that's going to help this stay put all day. For my lip liner, I'm using Bittersweet, which is just like a reddish brown eyeliner pencil. And then for my lip, I'm using a Milani Cosmetics. It's a metallic brown. I believe it's called Espresso. I'll double check, but I'll make sure to list that below. And I apply that all over the lid. So there you have it, gems. This beautiful cocoa grape is what I'm going to call this. Make sure that if you replicate this, you tag me on Instagram. But until our next video, gems, shine bright. Bye.